Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Small Stages, Big Sounds, the Uberrock podcast. I'm David O'Neill, and I'm joined tonight by Ben and Kyle from Brighton band called Chub. So, who came up with the name Chub?
I think the conversation just went. We were sat in the park, like this was during COVID times when we just formed, and we were like, we need something that's just short and sweet, and also just fun enough that people will see our name on posters and be like, yeah, go on then. So I think we bounced around a few things before we ended up settling on the ch sound. Didn't we nearly go with like chug or chum or something as well, Ben?
We nearly went with Chug because it was about a lot of our songs are about drinking beers and alcohol. So we were kind of just like, oh yeah, Chug, that sounds good. And then I think there were a few bands that were already called that, and like we were just like, Chub. It's funny because we're all fat. Then and then that's how it kind of stuck, really. Like we were just like, that's
Fair
a really
enough.
funny word.
I would never have been so rude as to say something like that, but as you said it, I'm going to let it go.
Oh no, you gotta, at the end of the day, if you love beer as much as we do, you gotta be proud of it.
You got to embrace the beer gut.
Yeah, you gotta
Well,
embrace
I'm
it.
saying nothing. I'm not exactly the smallest person in the world. So, having listened to some of your stuff, it sounds like you'd quite happily do something like either soundtrack a fight or basically a day in the skate park. So, is that the sort of stuff you're going for?
Yeah, I mean we're like we're crossover punk, so we like to bridge the gap between anything that's kind of like skatery, Tony Hawk's soundtrack style of music, like all the way from like anything metal to punk and anything in between. So we kind of bridge that gap. We're too punk for the metal, against too metal. But yeah,
Well, like I said, it's very punk.
yeah,
And like I said, having listened to it, it takes me back to the very early days of original punk. All that anger, all that in-your-face attitude. Now, in talking to you at this moment in time, you don't seem very angry young men. So where does that come from?
Well, we've got a nice outlet, don't we? You know, we got a got a nice place to channel the fury. We definitely formed because we were real angry. We formed around 2020. It was just after Boris got in, and none of us were very pleased about it.
Say nothing.
So we weren't very happy about that. Obviously, Brexit had just happened. You know, it was just a really volatile time. And we wanted to shout at people about it, you know. But
I think COVID happened.
yeah, and then COVID happened. We've had a lot of good material recently, you know, a lot of good things to keep people interested and write about.
oh yes, the British
dismay.
the British government, the British government.
Well, the origins of punk.
Yes, exactly. I think one of the biggest reasons why also, sorry, this is my cat. I think one of the biggest reasons as to why we kind of have a bit of like a positive attitude as well. One, because yes, like Kyle mentioned, it's cathartic to make punk and get angry, and then afterwards you feel really good. But also, I think nowadays, like punk, especially in punk, like joy is an act of resistance. Like being joyful is a way of like keeping the passion and being happy. The British government and billionaires, they want you apathetic. They want you to feel miserable and not want to do anything. So being joyful and happy, I think, is fun, to be honest. So yeah, that's the attitude we have.
Oh, you sound like me 40 years ago.
That sounds like a good thing.
So, like I said, I watched a couple of the videos, and I said there seems to be an awful lot of fun with the band on a gig, and the audience really get involved. Is that what you're going for every time you play?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've all been friends for like 15 years, like between 10 and 15 years. Like we've all been best mates for a long time. We started the band for fun and to like as a creative outlet. But then like, you know, I think that chemistry really shows because we're just, you know, first and foremost, we're trying to have a good time. We're trying to facilitate other people having a good time on stage as well. So that's why we get all of the like crowd interaction stuff going. That's why we, you know, ultimately a lot of places we play will be on a lineup and it won't be all punk lineup. Some people don't want to be like preached at about politics and stuff. So we want to keep it lighthearted. We want to, you know, still give off the important message, but also, you know, make sure everybody's having a good time and coming away. And then maybe, you know, because they've had a good time, they'll think a bit more about what we were saying that's a bit more serious and be like, oh, actually, you know, rather than beating people over the head with it.
Yeah, I think,
So,
yeah.
go on.
No, I was. You
Nobody
just have
wants to
to
hear that guy anyway.
nod along and be like, yeah.
Good. Have you noticed that's what I'm doing? That is better. So obviously, you know, there's a metal element, there's a heavy element to it, and the punk side of it. To put my teeth back in. Which bands are your biggest influences, or is it a very eclectic list?
We've all got very broad music tastes. That's my turn to put my teeth in. I think between all of us, like, I mean, yeah, we're all definitely metalheads first and foremost. That's where we've come from, our upbringing, like a lot of rock and metal. That's the sort of stuff we deviate towards. But then the punk side has mostly come from the ethos and the message. We kind of lean a bit more towards like the thrash metal sound. So probably our biggest influence, like band that is most like us, is a band called Municipal Waste. They're an American thrash punk band. They're very skate heavy. They're also songs about partying and getting drunk, you know, which is what we're trying to encourage at our gigs. And then there's an Australian band called The Chats, who are just irreverent, fun, singing about things that are important to them, but probably not important to many other people, like cigarettes cost too much, and I really want to go out for dinner, but I can't afford it, so I'm going to dine and dash, you know, just important messages. But we all listen to all sorts of stuff. Like, I mean, Ben's a massive shoegaze fan. I listen to a bunch of jazz and like movie soundtracks and stuff. We're into quite proggy metal as well, like 10, 20-minute long songs. And then we come out on stage and we just shout for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to say, there's nothing longer than about 2 minutes in any interview and stuff.
Exactly. Keep it short and sweet, you know.
Put them all together, you might get to 20 minutes. So it is a very broad base. So you've released a load of singles, and I noticed you've played Bloodstock.
Yeah.
That must have been a bit of a whammer.
Yeah.
Oh God, I mean, Bloodstock was like one of our highlights, period, of our life. I think, like,
yeah.
was just really, it was a really good step up. Yeah, it was an amazing.
But like
Good.
the whole process of getting there was crazy. Like, we did the Metal to the Masses initiative, which is their sort of Battle of the Bands thing. And it's all on our bassist's YouTube channel, Mead and Metal. He vlogs it all. And basically, we got kicked out in the heat. We barely got lost to the first heat, but then got brought back in from the wild card from audience votes. And then, just ended up managing to get our way through. I think people just want to have a good time. So against all odds, unbelievable. We were losing our minds when we even got onto Metal to the Masses. We ended up winning, and we still haven't quite gotten over it.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant.
And hopefully we'll be there next year.
Well, try again.
Simon
Please. Once you've been there, they say, oh yeah, we had them the last time. They were all right. So what's more important to you, a killer song or creating carnage?
I think we're very much a live band. You know, I think the things that, I mean, songwriting's really, really fun. And we've got this kind of ethos with the way that we write things. If we walk away and we're not like humming the riff, it's probably not good enough. If it's not like stuck in our heads afterwards, it's probably not good enough. We're all very groove heavy, riff heavy people. We're the kind of people who sit in the car and we're not singing the lyrics. We're just going, na 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 na, doing the guitar riff and stuff instead. So it's got to be like that. But yeah, I mean, I think we all live for the live experience, for seeing people go crazy. That's what keeps us going.
Okay. Talking about people going crazy, what is the most ridiculous thing that's happened at one of your gigs?
Oh God,
Mr. Frontman.
Oh man, at Bloodstock we had literally like a parade of inflatable dinosaur people. So people in like dinosaur costumes running through the middle, through the mosh. That was really good.
Dinosaurs moshing.
Yeah. It was great. They all had an amazing time. It turns out that they're part of like the Bloodstock like organizers or like the guys that do.
It's like a battle reenactment thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. They're part of the.
Thing they did.
They're part of the Viking reenactment.
And they came along and dinosaur crashed our party.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
Viking dinosaurs.
God, I can't really think of anything. Like, the thing is, it's when you go to a show like ours where it's carnage all the time, it's kind of hard to pick out your favorite bands.
Okay.
I think some of my highlights are the Cube pit we did in Glasgow. We've got a song called Gelatinous Cube, and obviously most people have heard of a circle pit. You just get in a big circle, run around in a circle. Gelatinous Cube is a D&D song. It's about a creature made of slime that moves achingly slowly. We do a slow motion square pit, so people walk in a circle for as slowly as they possibly can. Very inclusive,
Wow.
gets the people with disabilities involved. But in Glasgow, I think it was the very first time we ever did it. We were playing with a band called Fidget and the Twitchers, a really good ska band, and they went with it. They went full theatrical production. They had like people over each other's heads. And it was like David reaching out to God, like onto the stage, and then Ben got in there, just shoving people around really slowly, and they'd start like skittling into each other. It's always scenes. It's always good fun.
I say one of the funniest things I saw at a gig was a female-fronted band wanted to have a female-only mosh pit.
Oh, yeah.
And the girls that got into the mosh pit, they put their handbags down and they just sort of danced around the handbags. There wasn't a lot of moshing at all.
That sounds great. I know
Dancing
there's a few bands that do that. Like shout out to Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. Like he normally calls to like come to the front. And, so does Bob Dylan as well, actually, occasionally. So yeah, I always like those sort of.
Yeah, got to let the ladies have some fun without
Well,
some
yeah.
meathead jumping.
I
in.
mean, there's an awful lot of bodies getting thrown around in a mosh pit, and sometimes the girls get left behind.
Yeah.
100%.
So, if you had to pick 3 completely random bands to be on a bill with you, who would you invite?
God, who do you reckon, Ben? I'm thinking of it from the perspective of just the most insane production live show, like crowd participation. There's a band I'd like to pick called Evil Scarecrow. They're like a death metal band, but they're so silly. Like they call themselves Blue Peter Metal because all of their on stage stuff is just handmade. They have like a song called Crabulon, and it's about like an evil robot crab from the future, like the Terminator. And they have everybody just scuttling left and right in the crowd with their hands in the air doing the pinching. And on stage, they just have this guy in this very obviously like paper mache suit, just going crazy. So I think they'd go hand in hand with what we're trying to do. What do you reckon, Ben? Who'd you pick?
Oh my! I mean, like the metal part of me would love to like have bands like Party Cannon, Raised by Owls, and like Evil Scarecrow.
Oh yeah.
Because all 3 of those bands, including us, have the joint thing of crowd participation, being a little silly and a little fun. But then the punk side of me is literally like I would love to play with like Idol, Sleaford Mods, and those kind of bands. Like Lambrini Girls, who are another Brighton band, who are quite like we've met them. They've been supportive of each other and everything. So there's a lot of punk bands.
So there's a fairly broad brush then, really.
Yeah. I think that's where we've shined a lot. It's been either in like multi-genre lineups, or we can kind of straddle. We sit on the line.
Yeah, give us a little bit of something for everyone.
So if you got a first-time punter pitching into a Chub gig, what can they expect?
Beer bongs, circle pits, slow-mo square pits, a lot of headbanging, a lot of mosh pits, free alcohol, rounders cones, a beer gong, inflatable beer can, all sorts of nonsense.
Lots of that. So they definitely get a lot of nonsense. They'd also get a lot of me pulling stupid faces and shouting how much I hate billionaires as well. So you get a mixture of basically
that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. Like we're saying everything that everyone loves. So yeah, you get a mixture of nonsense and punk. That's the dualism.
That's a pretty good summary. So
maybe that should be our genre, nonsensical punk.
Nonsensical punk. There you go. Why not? So, are you doing any gigs coming up throughout this year?
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
got
we've got
quite a few.
the next big one. We're doing a few in Brighton. Yeah, we're playing with an Australian band called Rat Salad next month. That'll be good fun. They're really fun two-piece punk band. Yeah, they don't come into the UK often, so we're pretty happy to be on a bill with them. We're playing a Brighton Electric Studio, which is our favorite studio in Brighton. We've been going there since we started in like 2020. It's the first gig that they're putting on, so super psyched to be part of that with our pals in Pussy Liquor, all female, all mental punk times. And then our next big one, we're playing Northants Rocks over in Northampton. That's looking like it's close to selling out. We're playing with some pretty big bands on there. Hacktivist are headlining. We're pretty psyched for that. That's going to be good fun. And we're debuting a couple new bits and pieces for that too. So yeah.
Good,
and then the other big one, we run a festival in Eastbourne, in our hometown of Eastbourne, called Chubstock, which we did the first one last year. It's all fully grassroots as well. It's all everything with Eastbourne Music Collective, the little group that's together and puts gigs on. There's no dedicated venues in Eastbourne at all. They pack down and set up and bring all the gear over for every single show. So we're just celebrating that. You know, it's come so far from having no music scene a few years ago. Now we're doing Chubstock, which is a proper big stage, proper professional production, getting some bigger names from out of town and getting some bands from Eastbourne just to celebrate everything that we've done and achieved.
Nice to know. Well done. The reason I say well done, because I'm sure what a member of our team lives in the Eastbourne area. So I may see if he can pop along. But
yeah, that'd be good to see.
You never know. But well, thank you for your time. It's been good fun, and I can imagine your gigs are good fun. If you're ever in the South Wales area, then maybe I'll pop along to see you.
Yeah, we love playing like Cardiff or any of those sort of areas.
Well, next time you're in Cardiff, drop me a line.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, absolutely will do. Nice. We'll keep you posted. Cheers for your time, Dave.
Hey, thanks for your time, boys.